The AMBetter tab enables you to access records on over 1,400 carriers. A lot of data we have downloaded from AMBest. A lot of it we have accumulated over the years in our own database. And we call that AMBetter. So we select that button and it will display a listing of the 1,400 carriers, one carrier per line, of course, and across the top right here we have the direct premium written by product type. So as with any of these ISL screens, you can click on a column heading and it will sort ascending, and click a second time and it'll sort descending on those values. So you can quickly find carriers that specialize in particular product types. Over to the right, the last column is total direct premium written. And at the top we have filters from carrier name, tier, ANT, and of course I'll explain what ANT represents, and state code. Now you'll notice there's 3 columns over here to the left that we've added of our own information, and there's a button over here that explains what those columns mean, those values mean. The first is tier, which is a number from 1 to 6 that we've assigned to each carrier based on size. And we use a direct premium written number from 2014 to segregate these carriers by size. We're starting with the 1 being the largest, so over $1 billion in direct premium written, all the way down to 6, which is less than $5 million in direct premium written. So using the numeric value 1 through 6, you can filter the carrier records down by carrier size. The next little column over is A, and A by the carrier name in our table indicates that we have attendees representing that company in our database. And a T then, as by the carrier name, indicates that it's a carrier that ITX is tracking. ITX currently tracks over 200 carriers as far as outstanding, active, or potentially active searches the carriers initiated for software and services. All right, so that's the definition of these 3 columns on the left. So the idea then is that using a combination of filters, we can filter the data down to carriers that we may be interested in. For example, let's pick a carrier size 1, which is large, that has attendees, and that also has searches either active or potentially active. And let's sort by individual annuity premium descending. These are large carriers that are heavy into annuities. So let's, for example, pick American Fidelity Insurance. There's 2 buttons on the right side that are important. Once you get a carrier isolated, filtered down to a list you may be interested in, you can click Profile for a particular carrier, and it will open up a series of panels with information that ITX has stored for each particular carrier. At the top we have data that's been downloaded from AMBest regarding the name and address, a hot link to their website, information regarding executives at the corporation, their rating and outlook. Next panel down is a list of attendees at various conferences. This particular carrier has 45 attendees. Each panel displays 3. You can spin down and back, of course, on each panel 3 at a time. The next panel down is actions. These are searches for software or services that have been initiated or in some status of progress. The next panel down is decisions that have been made, searches that have been active and come to a conclusion. And the last panel then is a history of information that ITX has on file, maintained on file for this particular carrier. Okay. Once you select the carrier you might be interested in, let's stay on American Fidelity for now. Let's click on the Group button. What that does is display a listing of other carriers that are associated with this particular carrier. So American Fidelity Insurance is an operating company, also has a American Public Life Insurance Company, another operating company within the same group, and this is the holding company. But for any one of these, you can also get to the profile for that carrier. So I think this gives you a pretty straightforward way of quickly isolating carriers that fall within the range of carriers that might be interested in for your product or services, and also get detailed information not only about the carrier, but also other carriers associated with this particular carrier.